What's up, Fragrant World? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. My name is Justin Copeland. On this channel, Stay Fresh Productions, we talk about everything dealing with fragrances. Any interest in that kind of content, then you're gonna wanna join the Fresh Squad. How do you do that? You subscribe. Click that subscribe button. You are immediately a member of the squad, and therefore you're immediately at least 701.7% fresher. You will feel it. Others around you will smell it. We got a big video today. I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as I can. I don't know what came over me, but I wanted to just give you guys a top 20 list, which I don't think I've ever done before. I know Sebastian from Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews does a lot of these, and they're just these behemoths of lists, and I really wanted to tackle one. So the one we're talking about today is 20 of the strongest fragrances in my collection that also smell amazing. To get it out of the way, none of these are measured. I'm not saying based on this number of hours it lasts, it's in this place. We're not talking about that. I kind of have some general regions scattered throughout the list of, you know, the type of strength we're talking about, whether it's super punchy, whether we're talking about longevity wise, but it's wispy, or whether we're talking about, you know, great sillage, but maybe doesn't smell all that strong up close, things like that. But even with that, it's pretty general. All 20 of these fragrances are very strong. We're talking probably at least 10 hours of longevity, most of them much more. They're kind of in order from weakest to strongest in a way, but I will say that like roughly the top 10 to 5 are pretty much the strongest ones in my collection, but I have others that needed to be mentioned as well. So without much further ado, let's dive right into it. Here at number 20, we have a fragrance that is very hard to find. If you can find it, I recommend getting it, even if it takes blind buying it, because that might be your best bet these days. We're talking about from the house of Issey Miyake, Layton, Homme, Noir, Ambre. This is a gorgeous amber-based fragrance. It has a vanilla warmth to it. It is sweet, warm, it is quite woody and rich. It smells reminiscent of maybe these more traditional fragrance profiles coming out of the Middle East. Definitely carries that vibe, but maybe a little bit more of an accessible version of that, and definitely is gonna last you all day. A great scent to wear in the evening time when you wanna be elegant. I do think it's quite unisex. People might associate it as a masculine scent, but if you like the personality, wear it. That is Noir Ambre from Issey Miyake. Here at 19, we have a classic from the house of Parfums Minimalist, probably their best seller as well, at least as of today. This is Layton, and this has always been a very strong fragrance for me. This is a beautiful, sweet, spicy, fresh scent, cardamom, geranium, apple, lavender, vanilla, maybe some woods in there. Very playful, but has an elegance to it. And great sillage, definitely something that gets people asking about you. Probably one of my most complimented fragrances in my collection for sure, and definitely one that's gonna last a long time. That's Layton. All right, here we have a cheapie. This one is not gonna break the bank. We're talking probably 35 bucks, maybe $40 at the most. This is coming from Authenticity Perfumes, and this is Silver Luxe. Basically, any one of their fragrances could be on this list. They are advertised to last at least 12 hours, and they really do. They really push. They do leave a nice sillage. So if you're looking for longevity without having to spend a lot of money, this is a great way to go. This one, Silver Luxe, is sweet, has a coconut vibe, has a vanilla vibe, kind of almost beachy in a way, but also kind of gourmand in a way, kind of smells edible. Very beautiful scent. All right, coming from the house of Cartier, we have this beautiful flanker of the original DNA, which is awesome. This is called Pasha Cartier Parfum, based on the original Pasha Cartier from 1992. This takes that original kind of fresh, spicy, fougere-like DNA, makes it a little bit deeper, richer, sweeter, less fresh, less spicy, more based on sandalwood here. We have some boozy notes in here. It is still sweet, but it's rich and just straight up elegant. Beautiful, elegant scent, a little bit mature in a way, but I do think it has a modernity to it, and definitely one that lasts all night. That is Cartier, Pasha Cartier Parfum. Coming from the house of Argos, most of their fragrances actually are quite strong. I wouldn't say the most beast mode by any means, but you're looking at least 12 hours of longevity. Beautiful sillage. This one is probably one of the best, I think, in terms of that beautiful trail that it leaves, and it just lingers for hours and hours. This is Triumph of Bacchus. What I love is that this fragrance actually gets better as it sits. My bottle, this 100 milliliter bottle, which I've had for, a year or so, has gotten darker over time, and it's actually gotten richer, and I love that. This is a sweet tobacco fragrance. This is based on apple. This is based on some rum in there. It's a little boozy. You have a juicy peach in there. A little bit of a floral quality from jasmine kind of rounds it out and makes it very soft and elegant, but a nice earthy tobacco as it dries, and just smells delicious. Perfectly unisex. Probably their most unisex fragrance from the collection. Not the cheapest fragrance by any means, which is why they did come out with these beautiful little 30 ml bottles, which I've talked about many times before. Takes all the greatness in these bottles, simply shrinks it down to a smaller package for obviously less money. So check out Triumph of Bacchus. You can even get 10% off using my code FRESH10, link down below. Okay, if we're talking about strong fragrances, we gotta talk about Roja Parfums. Oligarch, and this is not even their strongest scent either. There's other ones that I don't have full bottles of that are beast, but this, if you're looking for a fresh scent that smells utterly elegant, that lasts all day and stays fresh all day, then you gotta go for Oligarch. This is aromatic, it's green, it's woody, a little bit fruity, a lot going on here, based primarily on some citruses and bitter juniper berry and woods. It kind of has an almost medicinal vibe when you first spray it on. I get almost a eucalyptus vibe. I don't think there's any listed, but that's what I get. Simply smells divine. It is maybe more stereotypically masculine because of that woodiness. It's a citrus aromatic kind of scent, but great performance, hence why it's on this list. Again, almost anything from the house will do, but this is a great fresh option for the upcoming warmer weather. That is Oligarch. I think we're at number 14 now. This is coming from Chris Collins. All his fragrances are very powerful extrait de parfum, but without being too much. This has a very interesting type of strength to it. It doesn't really scream when you smell it up close. You smell it up close, it does not smell intense. It smells very beautiful, very well blended, very balanced. But in the air, that's where it just grabs you. It has a strong sillage, which is why it made a list that I did, a video you can check out here of some sexy sillage fragrances that leave a beautiful trail. This is Oud Galoré. This is also one of Grace's favorites, featured in our recent date night video. This is this is beautiful. Wow, this is a wow scent. To me, this is a 10 out of 10. Yes, I don't give that out often. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Oud and rose, which we've seen before, but done a little bit more accessibly, I would say. It's more of a medicinal type of oud than it is a dirty or dark oud. That rose has a sweet, jammy quality to it. It's a little smoky, perhaps. It is just succulent. And I do think it is unisex. Again, rose and oud, anyone can wear, and it's gonna leave that trail that I'm talking about all night long. Check out Oud Galoré. Here at number 13, coming from the house of Marc-Antoine Barrois, this is also a beast mode fresh fragrance here. This is called Ganymede. You would not think this is as strong as it is when you first smell it. I do want to say one thing. You can tell how strong a fragrance is if you've had it in your collection, if you've worn it maybe at least just once, or even if you spray it one time and then you come back a month later and you smell that atomizer and it's still as clear as day, you know that fragrance is going to last a long time. That is clear that it has some fixative properties that are going to keep it around. It's going to have great longevity. This is one of those fragrances. This is an unusually fresh scent. It is based around metallic and mineral notes. Kind of smells cold, almost like rocky or like the moon. That's kind of what it's going for. It's representing Ganymede, which is Jupiter's largest moon. But it also has a beautiful violet leaf in there. I think it kind of contributes to that fresh metallic nature. It also has immortelle in here, which is a very unusual element. It kind of brings this almost, some people say maple syrup or maple quality. Some people say kind of like curry. It does bring this unusual culinary aspect, like a savory aspect that really blends beautifully with the freshness here. And it persists longer than you need it to, and it smells so elegant. I love this stuff. Very unique. If you're looking for a unique, long-lasting fresh scent, that is Ganymede. Check it out. Here at number 12, this fragrance here is polarizing. This fragrance is not for everyone. It has a very distinctive scent profile. It's a little strange, but man, it is addictive. I really believe that, at least if you're asking me. This is called Incident Diplomatique from Javoy, and it lasts so well. It's a potent scent. I haven't sprayed this in maybe almost 2 months, and it's like I just sprayed it an hour ago. It is so potent. This is based around earthy, grassy, green, woody notes. You have a lot of patchouli in here. You have vetiver in here. Very woody, earthy, kind of bitter in a way, but it has this filled out nature to it. It has a thickness and almost like wetness to it. It almost smells kind of boozy in a way, which I've said a lot. There's no booze in here. There's some mandarin orange for freshness. There's a little bit of nutmeg as well, but it's an unusual scent. It has a smoky kind of ashy quality to it. To me, it kind of smells like someone who'd been smoking and you like give them a hug and you smell their shirt. It's kind of comforting in a way, but you gotta like that kind of scent. I don't like smoke. I don't like the smell of smoke, but for some reason it works here. And it lasts all night. Beautifully elegant scent. You gotta dress this up. That is Incident Diplomatique from Javoy. Here at number 11, one of the newest additions to my collection. I've loved this fragrance ever since it came out. About 4 years ago, I got a sample of it. I smelled it. It almost put me on my back. It surprised the heck out of me. And I was kind of afraid of it, but I loved it all at the same time. I've wanted to get a bottle over the years. I've just never pulled the trigger because I thought maybe I'm not gonna wear it much. I might offend people, but I finally pulled the trigger because I'm like, you know what? I love this scent. I think about it all the time, even though I don't have it, and it's discontinued, so it might disappear, so I got a bottle of it. This is Gucci Guilty Absolute Pour Homme. I love this stuff. This is polarizing. This is a divisive fragrance. Either you love it or you hate it. Ooh, oh, this thing hits me every time. This is dirty, earthy stuff. And the designer market, which you don't see often, which is why I didn't do so well. But man, if you're looking for something bold, something that help you stand out, this would have made my standout list if I had it, you know, a couple months ago when I did my first one. This is based on lots of patchouli, lots of leather, maybe some vetiver, cypress. It's green, woody, earthy, leathery, dry, kind of smells like some kind of old leathery material, something, a leather bound book or something like that, covered in dust, but it doesn't smell dusty. I don't know. I love it. It's because it's so bold with the scent profile, all these rich notes it has. It does last a long time. You smell it around you the whole time, hours and hours and hours. Not for everyone, only for those that want to stand out. That is Gucci Guilty Absolute Pour Homme. I believe this is the halfway point, number 10. I haven't talked about this fragrance much, but I do love it. One of the newest fragrances from the house of MEMO, came out last year, and it would surprise me. You wouldn't think it was that strong, but it persists. It's kind of a thick scent. This is called Sintra, and this is based on orange blossom, maybe some jasmine. It's kind of citrusy in a way and kind of fresh, but also very thick, has a vanilla quality, of like a vanilla thickness, almost like a marshmallow in a way. And it is intended to kind of depict this fantastical-ish landscape that Sintra, which is a region in Portugal, kind of has. Kind of a lush, almost tropical landscape, but there's a confectionery nearby and you get that vanilla smell from that, and it just simply smells wonderful. Some might say it's a little feminine. I love it. Sweet, rich, kind of floral, but bright in a citrusy way, but also, again, thick with that kind of marshmallowy sweetness. And it persists all night. Elegant stuff, maybe more for the daytime or a date night scent. This is a good little date night scent. That's number 9. I've talked about this time and time again in terms of its strength. It is no slouch. And I think for me, this beats out Baccarat Rouge 540, the Eau de Parfum. The X-Straight is a different story. I need to spend more time with that because I do enjoy it from the time I've spent with it. But Instant Crush, which took that DNA, admittedly, they copied it. Let's just be real. You got most of the same elements in that fragrance. The Baccarat Rouge 540 from MFK are in here. You got the jasmine, you got the amberwood, you have saffron. It has, oh, it's really nice. It has a sweet vanilla quality. It does have vanilla in here, which I think sets it apart from the MFK. It has almost a leathery nuance to it. It's candied sweet, a little floral and soft, but it does have a rich sweetness to it, like I said. And I do believe it's quite unisex. Some people would say it's feminine, but I think it is quite unisex. I love this stuff, and it is so strong. Like many Manceras are, no problem with strength here. That is Instant Crush from Mancera. Here at number 8, from MFK actually, a fragrance you would not think is as strong as it is, but for some reason it just does not leave you. This is called Gentle Fluidity Silver, and this is a deliciously fresh fragrance with great performance. Yet another one here, based on juniper berry, fresh, kind of astringent in a way, a little bit bitter, almost has a gin-like quality. That is where we get gin from, the juniper berry, but it's mixed with a warm amber, some vanilla, some musk, and even a little bit of spicy coriander. It's a simple scent. It doesn't change all that much, but it smells different. It smells a little unique, and it's completely genderless. That's what it's aimed to be. And it just lasts like 15 hours on your skin or more. It does not go away. It smells beautiful in the air. You get that warm amber and vanilla in the air mixed with a little bit of freshness. That's the sillage when you smell this stuff around you. It is gorgeous. Gentle Fluidity Silver is definitely worth checking out. Here at number 7 from the house of Sarah Baker. Honestly, this fragrance is beautiful. It is so beautiful, but it is unapologetic. It's hard for me to wear it often because sometimes it's even a little much for me. The scent profile, ooh, it just does not let up. It is relentless. This is called Charade. And it has this old school kind of almost feminine perfume quality to it, based on some tuberose, based on some thick, like heady indolic florals in here with some honey. It has almost a bit of an animalic tinge to it, but as it dries, it gets this nice, beautiful woody vetiver, I think, that comes in. It's gorgeous, but it is so potent. It is so freaking strong. I can't, it's tough. At least when you smell it up close. When you put it on, you get it in the air around you. It smells fantastic. It's going to be very provocative to those around you. But to smell it up close, ooh, don't, be careful. Just with caution, you know what I mean. That is Charade from Sarah Baker. Check it out. Okay, we're getting close. And all of these that I've talked about, these last few and onward, are just absolute beasts. Here at number 6, we have no stranger to the beast mode category. This is Dior Homme Parfum. This is rich, dark, sweet elegance with some powderiness in here, based around that powdery iris, kind of almost lipsticky, which everyone says, I know, but it's true. We do have rose in here. You have a lot of dark brash leather, but in an elegant way. You have even a little bit of oud, and it's musky. I think there might even be some ambre in here. It gets a nice muskiness as it dries. And I mean, the color of this juice is so indicative of the scent. It just does not go away. And it's so elegant, and it is perfectly unisex. If you can find it, check it out. I haven't smelled the new version, which I know is still only available in Europe. Hope they bring it here because I'd love to check it out as well. But yeah, it gets talked about for a reason. Top 5. At number 5, we have Nichane Fan Your Flames. Good Lord. One of the, oh my gosh. This is one of the most unique fragrances in my collection. This is simply one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. The feeling it gives me when I smell it, it is so visceral. It has this beautiful blend of notes that you can smell everything, but it all just melds perfectly. And a very unique note breakdown. Rum, boozy rum, just like almost like you're smelling it from the glass, mixed with coconut, so it has this tropical feel to it. But nice little duality here with tonka bean, so a nice kind of vanilla sweetness, tobacco, earthy, very dry cedarwood, and even some oak moss. I think this is a perfect date night scent. I think it is so elegant. I think it's perfectly unisex, and it is freaking strong. I think it's supposed to kind of resemble the smell of like a hookah bar. I think that's what they're going for here. Fantastic stuff. Masterpiece in my opinion. I believe it was composed by Jorge Lee, and this is called Fan Your Flames.
Also, it's so freaking strong.
Here at number 4 from BDK Parfum, a relatively new fragrance to my collection. Potent stuff. This is called Tabac Rose. As per the name, based on tobacco and rose, but also some fruits in here. I think there's a juicy plum note in here. And there's some chocolate as well. It smells like a fruity vanilla chocolate dessert. Very rich, very potent. There's a lemon kind of fresh zinginess in here that kind of turns some people off from what I've heard, but I love it. It's mouth-watering. And as it dries, the tobacco gets a little dusty and earthy, which I didn't always love, but I'm loving more and more. Oh, beautiful for the nighttime, but it's gonna last you until the next morning. So you could also call it a great morning scent because you will smell it the next day. That is Tabac Rose from BDK Parfum. I'm gonna link Quintessence down below, who I got this bottle from a while back. We had a discount code. It might still be good, so I'm gonna link it. Hopefully it works. Here at number 3, another fragrance that is not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart.
Are you listening to me?
Not for everyone.
You have to love leather. I'm not saying like I think I'm interested in leather. I kind of like leather. No, you gotta love it. You have to love it. This is called Rich Mess from Ryon Richmond, perfumed by Christophe Laudemiel. Such a wow, provocative to say the least. Such a unique leather scent. Very, very dark, brash, harsh leather, but inside of that leather, it kind of encapsulates, I think, a little bit of vanilla, even a little bit of fig, maybe some saffron as well. It's a spicy, dark, slightly sweet leather, slightly sweet. It is so interesting. Again, not for everyone. It's kind of dirty and ashy in a way. You gotta love leather, but you gotta check this out if you do. That is Rich Mess. And it is so freaking powerful. But you already knew that because it's on this list. Here at number 2, one of the newest fragrances from the house of Unique Luxury in their new bottle design. It simply looks stunning. And this stuff is almost obnoxiously strong. All of their fragrances are. They are a Turkish house, similar to Nishane, which is also a Turkish house. From what I've heard, Turkish perfumery, they like it potent. And it is clear. This is called Crush on Me. Nothing like Instant Crush from Mancera. This, it's delicious, but you have to love sweet caramel. Very sweet caramel, but yet another interesting duality here, mixed with a damp, earthy patchouli. Those are the 2 primary elements here. It is so incredible, and it is so strong. It is so strong, man. I'd say 2 to 3 sprays max is all you need with this. In terms of the number of sprays for these fragrances, I know I haven't really been talking about that. That is kind of up to you to experiment with, because your skin will treat the fragrance differently, and also your comfort level. Those things are all variable, so I can't tell you how much to put on. I would say no more than 5 sprays for a lot of these, unless you're gonna be outdoors all night. More than 5 could be fine, but again, that's up to you to discover for yourself. I would not spray this more than 3 times, simply because it might choke me out. That's how strong it is. I think Beverly Hills Perfumery has it. You might be able to sample it. I'm gonna link to them down below. Hopefully you can sample it. That is Crush on Me. Total beast, total beast. And here at number 1, is this the strongest fragrance of my collection? Not necessarily. There's really nothing about it that makes it immensely stronger than the last few I've talked about. They're all kind of the same level of potency. So why is it up here? Because I have a lot of experience with this fragrance. The times that I've worn it, we're talking from the time I spray it on until the time I close my eyes and go to bed that night. I can smell it around me constantly. I can smell it when I wake up the next day. And at all that, it's a fresh scent. What more could you ask for out of a fresh fragrance? But this is rich stuff. We're talking about Beach Hut from Ambre. Probably one of my favorites from the house right now. In terms of the ones I own full bottles, simply beautiful stuff. This is very green, lots of mint in here. You also have ivy, which I couldn't really describe the scent of to you honestly. You also have oak moss, and there's even a bit of myrrh in here as it dries. There's a lot going on, a lot of green notes. It smells a little bit like an old school Chypre fragrance. It has this old school vibe to it, kind of almost a menthol-like nature. Again, very fresh and minty, but so rich. It reminds you of just kind of being out in the brush somewhere. Maybe not necessarily at the beach, but woods are around. I mean, lots of woods in here as well. And it has that kind of rich balsamic quality to it in that myrrh. When it dries down, it smells so incredible. And as I already said, all day performance, no problem. If you're looking for a strong, fresh, green, deep fragrance, then this is the one to check out. That is Beach Hut Man from Ambre. Okay, my voice is literally giving out. I've been talking for over half an hour, so I'm gonna call it here. I hope you enjoyed the list. Let me know if there's any fragrances on this list that you really dig, that you've tried, that you love, that you hate, or even ones that you are just interested in and haven't tried yet. You know how we do it. Let's talk about it. If you have any fragrance you love that gets you just unearthly performance, then obviously you can leave that in the comments. I would love to know. If you like the video, please like this video. It really helps me out with my visibility across YouTube. Join the Fresh Squad. Once again, if you want to be fresher, that you made it to this point, then I suspect that you do. Click that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and you could always change your mind later if you want to do that for some strange, very unreasonable reason. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.